Top 10 NFL QBs, 10 to 6, 2015 edition. Happy retirement, Peyton Manning. I'm going to take a very in-depth happy retirement speech for this guy. Uh, First of all, thank you for bringing football into our homes on Sundays and entertaining us with your abilities and your skills and your talent. Thank you for pretty much back after neck surgery and dominating this sport like you've always done. Thank you for always competing. Thank you for just really bringing this sport into the limelight with just how you were. You were once the face of the NFL, and you were a no doubter, first ballot Hall of Famer. You've done everything you could possibly do. There's always going to be debates between Manning and Brady. Which one's better? I just love Peyton Manning to death, and that's why I pick Peyton a lot more than Tom. I understand, about Brady's record being a lot more elusive and a lot better than Peyton. But there's similarities where I can say that these two, Manning and Brady, they both influenced all the receivers, and they got the receivers from a nobody to really everyone knew about him. And honestly, Marvin without Peyton, Peyton without Marvin, that would not be a thing. Tony Dungy, everything. Honestly, everyone that stepped in his life, I know have been influenced because of Peyton as well. He's been such a great role model for kids. He's a great role model for me. Again, I'm not even 20. I'm 19. So I watched him growing up, and I've loved him all the time. I was not a Colts fan. I'm a Ravens fan, but I've always loved Peyton Manning. I've always loved watching him. I've always respected him, and I've always admired him. Just thank you for being a part of my generation, of my life. And it was a pleasure, really. It was truly a pleasure to watch you. And I wish you nothing but the best. This game will miss you. And I truly, truly do hope that that you'll come back into football, not as a player, but as a coach, maybe as an assistant, maybe as a general manager, or just in general, just please be around the game because you're way too important to just leave. And yeah, we're gonna miss you a bunch, Peyton. Thank you so much. Happy retirement, Matt Hasselbeck. Now, I know he didn't have, stud numbers like Peyton, and obviously people might not really wish him as well as a happy retirement as Peyton Manning because he wasn't nearly obviously as, you know, popular, but he was still a very efficient QB, and he's had moments of being a very, very great QB. And, over 35,000 passing yards, that's pretty good. So I will give that to him for sure. There's definitely no, you know, definitely no nothing about it. The thing that I've noticed though is they both were selected in 1998. Matt Hasselbeck was a sixth-round pick. Did he play like a sixth-round pick? At times, I feel like as a Seattle Seahawk, he's had his fair share of moments where he was like, okay, why would you do that? Like maybe the coin toss in Green Bay. Oh, we're going to win this coin toss and we're going to score. Or just in general, some of the playoff, just some of the playoff help. Excuse me, I'm sorry about sneezing. But some of the playoff struggles with him. Some of the kind of weird play calling that he had at times. But he still had an impact to the growth of the Seattle Seahawks, which is now a very, very tight and very national type spotlight of a city. I feel like Matt Hasselbeck, for whatever you could possibly have him as, if you're a Seattle fan, you just do not like Matt Hasselbeck. The way that, Sean Alexander, where he only had 2 good years here, that's, statistic wise, you just look and you're like, huh, Well, Matt Hasselbeck, he didn't bring a championship to this town. But what he did for the city, I feel like he did bring a spotlight into it, getting them to their first ever Super Bowl. Dominant D right there. They had a great team that year and lost the Steelers 21-10. But what he did was he brought a chance to them to really showcase what Seattle's about, and I feel like that's what he is. So happy retirement, Matt Hasselbeck. I will miss you. I don't know about anybody else. You're a good QB, and enjoy Peyton and Matt. Both of you enjoy it. Number 10, Matthew Stafford, age 28, Detroit Lions quarterback. Matthew Stafford is by far such a great passing type QB. Yeah, he doesn't run much, but man, he can throw the football the way he's able to. This year, he actually did showcase some of his speed, rushing wise. So he was actually a part of something, which is great. But overall, I mean, yeah, what a great QB, what a great general in terms of getting guys ready. Had Calvin Johnson to throw to. Now he doesn't. What is going to happen now? He's got Golden Tate, but who else is going to replace Calvin? What's going to happen? Is his offense going to flow? Was it that Calvin was the one that was making Matt look good, or was Matt just generally good? I feel like Matt is just generally good. I feel like he's such a good QB. He deserves to be a top 10 quarterback for sure. The only problem with that is he's 0-2 in the postseason. Now, he's only been in the postseason twice, and this is his 8th year. He needs to get to the postseason and needs to reach farther than what he has, which is the wild card round. He needs to get a lot farther to be really considered into the discussion of elite. Obviously, to really get into the discussion, nowadays it's you need to win a title if you want to become, the pretty much the best QB in football. You really need to win a title. You really need to get deep into the postseason. And the fact that he's not really been in the playoffs that much, 2 out of the 8 years that he's been in this league, he needs to get there. And it's hard because a team of that caliber is not, is not really too experienced or not good enough for it. But overall, what I've seen in his years, he's been a Pro Bowler. He's won the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. Great quarterback at the University of Georgia there. Overall, this year he played in all 16 games. He had 398 completions for 67.2 completion percentage. That's a great percentage, first of all. It's his highest in his career. 4,262 passing yards, 32 passing touchdowns, 13 interceptions, fumbled it 3 times. His QBR is a 62.6, and his quarterback and his rating, pretty much his passer rating, was a 97. Overall, I expect him to trim down those interceptions. He's always been a guy that's always had multiple interceptions in the season. I'm talking about double-digit ones, but if he can trim those down and have those type of numbers that he has right now, I feel like this could be a team that's dangerous, scary good offensively, and honestly, Matthew Stafford deserves to be on this list no matter what. Just he needs to get more experience for him to really climb up this list any further. The Matthew Stafford contract I did not mention in the comment when I had number 10 on there for him, but his contract right now stands as 2 more years, $35.2 million. So pretty much he's still there. He's still at a high price. Don't know how much guaranteed, but that's how much his contract is worth so far left. Number 9, Matt Ryan, age 31, Atlanta Falcons quarterback. We all know Matt Ryan, Matty Ice, the guy that puts me into this this excitement every time you watch him. He's always going to close out ball games. He had started out just incredibly, just fantastically at home. And he tried obviously that first year as a rookie, first throw was a touchdown. I'm like, man, we're looking at something special. Matt Ryan from then on led them to a nice 11-5 record. They got beat by the Arizona Cardinals, the eventual NFC champions. And we're like, okay, well, we're still going to see a lot more of Matt Ryan. And he had great Atlanta Falcons teams. I think that he had pretty good Atlanta Falcons teams, but they just could not ever um, come in clutch, which is it's sad because I this is what I expect. I expect the Atlanta Falcons with those teams that he had and 2012. I remember 2012. 2011, 2010. There was some, there were teams. They had a pretty good defense. They had a pretty good offense. I just, I don't know what to tell you, but Matt Ryan scares me about will he ever get a ring because Atlanta, as much as I want them to get to the Super Bowl, just because Matt Ryan is, I think, deserving of a World Series, sorry, of a Super Bowl title. Um, that I don't see it just because of the teams, the talent they have. It's it's a lot to really manage, and it's a lot to unfortunately, you know, put into words. But yeah, I don't think there's any doubt in my mind that he's most likely not going to succeed in Atlanta. Hopefully Dan Quinn can turn it around, make him a playoff team. But Matt Ryan, I think that's why he's so low in my countdown. It's because of that. His playoff success is very, very limited. Um, hasn't gone to Super Bowl, and farthest is conference championship, which is it's not bad, but still didn't get that W. Again, he's in his contract 3 years, $62.5 million. So that's how much he has left in his contract. You're looking at what he has so far. He's a three-time Pro Bowler. He's been an Offensive Rookie of the Year. And his statistics this year: 16 games, 407 completions, 66.3 completion percentage, pretty great. 4,591 yards, another 4,000 plus yard season, great number. 21 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, 8 fumbles, 61.8 is QBR, 89 is the passer rating. That's a problem for me. Again, he's at rushing yards, 16 games played. He had 37 attempts for 63 yards. So he can run the football as well. Not that big, but 4 fumbles rushing wise, 2 lost. That's the problem with him. A lot of fumble issues and a lot of interceptions. He's a guy that in his career has always had double-digit interceptions in every single year. So for me, it's a problem, and that's why he is so low. Just not as low as Matt Stafford, just because Matt Ryan has some playoff experience. But I really do hope he can trim down those turnovers, and we'll see what he does this year. But he's deserving of being top 10. He's always dangerous, and you always love seeing him play for sure. Number 8, Philip Rivers, age 34, San Diego Chargers quarterback. So another guy, another veteran, and unfortunately another guy that has not gotten to the Super Bowl. The past 3 guys that I have right now on my list have not gone to a Super Bowl, and for QBs it's a big deal. What do you want to do? You want to lead teams to Super Bowls, and that's what makes you have a legendary career. Is people look back and like, wow, this guy led them to the promised land, to where they wanted to be, and it just shows just how much uh, how important it is, to be successful in this league. You need to get a ring nowadays. It's like you need to lead guys. You can have great regular season numbers, but if you do not get a Super Bowl title by the end of the year, there is absolutely no point for you to be calling yourself an elite QB. Top 5 wise. Unless you're just too skillful and you're just so young that really I don't blame you for not being getting a ring yet, but you will soon. But still, you always have that pressure as a QB to get a ring. And Philip Rivers at age 34, he's trimming down his age where he doesn't have much longer of getting a Super Bowl title. And for him, 34, almost going on 35, with the Chargers team that I don't think is ready to even get to that stage at all. Um, and honestly, it's sad to hear it, but it's true. Unfortunately, it's true. So, um, you know, I just a lot of people hate him. Obviously, a lot of trash talking involved. One of the few QBs that really, actually, probably one of the only QBs that really isn't afraid to talk and isn't afraid to showcase his talent. And he deserves it. 4 years, $83.25 million contract. That's how much he's worth. But that guy can throw the football for sure, man. He is a great pocket passer. He's a great leader for sure. and people should respect him because he is a top 10 QB for sure, and he's number 8 because he's had um, a lot of playoff experience. Of course, it hasn't ended up in anything great. He hasn't really, hasn't has been he's been bumped up because of the Jets, because of ran into the Steelers, that type of stuff, and hasn't gone to the big stage. So um, unfortunately, that's how it goes, the football life, and I don't know. It's let's just look at his numbers though before I start being all depressed and stuff about how much he should be respected. 13 years and without really a conference championship win, even though he went to the AFC Championship. Anyway, 16 games, 437 completions, 66.1 completion percentage. It's not bad. 4,792 yards. Another thing that's very underrated about him. Always almost a 5,000 yard passer. Always in the 4,000s. 29 touchdowns, 13 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 59.4 QBR, 93.8 passer rating, with rushing yard of 17 attempts, 28 yards, and 2 fumbles, but hasn't lost one. Overall, though, 13 interceptions. Again, he's a guy that always has very high interception rating. If only he can trim that down, I feel like he would be a lot better. But overall, I mean, there's not much you can do. He's always a 5,000 yard type kind of passer, potential 5,000 yards. But nothing you can do. He's just going to continue to just amaze people with his talent. Just he's not going to go anywhere in San Diego. This I feel like it's going to be a while still for them to actually become truly a contender. So, but we'll see. I hope he does get a ring at some point before his career is over. Number 7, Andrew Luck, age 26, Indianapolis Colts quarterback. This guy is pretty much the new breed of talent, along with a Cam Newton, along with Russell Wilson. These are the guys that you're like, man, these are gonna be not exactly Tom Brady's or Peyton Manning's, but they truly are going to be exceptional talent for years to come. And it's kind of like the new generation for people. They'll be like, hey, when kids born in this type of generation, they'll look up to Andrew Luck and look up to Cam Newton, whereas older generations they're like, yeah, Peyton Manning, Drew Brees, even older, Marino and Elway, the same when they had Bradshaw and Staubach. This is like a new breed of QBs, and it's great. He's a pocket passer. He can also run. He's very diverse. Unfortunately, injuries. He had an injury. Only played 7 games this year. We don't know how he's going to come back. I really think he will come back strong. That's my opinion. I feel like he will come back very, very strong to the point where I think he'll be the exact same self. Again, he's led this team to divisional playoff. He's had him to an AFC Championship game. So, you know, he can do it again. I feel like the defense does have to step up a bit. The line is, could get a little better. But overall, I feel like this is a team that with Andrew Luck in there, they're gonna win 10, 11 games, and they're gonna get into the wild card. If not, they will win the AFC South. It all depends for sure because the Texans and Jaguars are coming. The Titans still are rebuilding, but they will be coming soon. So it's gonna be a tough division. That's gonna be a very tough division. I believe in the years to come. But Andrew Luck, 26, he's gonna tear the league, man. He's tearing the league already, and he got paid this offseason. 5 years, $122.97 million. 87 of that is guaranteed. Overall, he will be in Indianapolis until the time he is 32. So pretty much in his prime, he will be there. He'll be dominating in Indy, and it's gonna be like a little, reincarnation of a Peyton Manning. Overall, what he's had, his career, 3-time Pro Bowler, a passing touchdowns leader. He's gotten the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm Award, and he's won some awards in college. And overall, yes, only 7 games played. In those 7 games, 162 completions with a 55.3 completion percentage, 1,881 yards, 15 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 2 fumbles, 47.6 QBR, 74.9 passer rating, with 33 attempts for 196 rushing yards, and a fumble with a fumble lost. But he had an average carry of 5.9 overall. this is someone that really can, he's diverse. He can run and he can also pass. The 7 games, again, almost 2,000 yards in 7 games. That's pretty good. The interceptions were very high for that 7 games, 12. That's pretty high. Again, I've seen him dominate with 40 touchdowns, but he had 16 interceptions that year. He could have been a lot better if he did not have 16 interceptions. Let me tell you. And then obviously when you add in, the fact that he had 23 and 9 the previous year, he's got to cut down his interceptions. I feel that's his biggest weakness. But overall, Andrew Luck, getting back to full health is very big for them, and hopefully the Colts. I believe the Colts will be back on track this year. So number 6, Ben Roethlisberger, age 33, Pittsburgh Steelers quarterback. Yes, when I take a look at the AFC North, when I take a look at the Pittsburgh Steelers, once Ben Roethlisberger's career will be over, I will always believe Ben Roethlisberger. Terry Bradshaw, you have your Dermonte Dawsons, you have your Jack Lamberts, your Jack Hams, your Joe Greens, and then you're going to have, Troy Polamalu's, but you will have Ben Roethlisberger in there. He's going to be a future Hall of Famer, no doubt about it. Almost a 50,000 passing yards this year. Crazy, crazy. Just overall, great QB, man. Luxury, having Antonio Brown right now this year. He's got the defense, which is young and up and coming. He's got Le'Veon Bell once he comes back. I know he's going to dominate. He's pretty much one of the top running backs in the NFL. Martavis Bryant, unfortunately, is not going to be there, but, once he heads back, we know Big Ben's target is also going to be Martavis. Keith Miller retired, so we all know that Big Ben will be, will be trying to find new weapons, and he's always going to make them look really good. Big Ben is incredibly, he's a beast, man. He's big. You can't really bring him down. You're going to need a lot of guys to bring him down, and just overall a bunch of respect for the guy and what he's done for this game. His contract status: 4 years, $87.4 million, guaranteed $31 million. So that is what's going on right now in his career. 4-time Pro Bowler, a 2-time Super Bowl champion. 3 times he's been, to the Super Bowl. So he is 2-1. He's an Offensive Rookie of the Year, AFC completion percentage leader, NFL passing yards co-leader. He's an all-time leader in career wins and touchdowns and yards and attempts and in completions in Pittsburgh Steelers history. So that's why I know his number will be retired for sure in Pittsburgh. No one should be able to wear number 7 once he's done. This year, only 12 games he played, but in those 12 games, 319 completions, 68 completion percentage, 3,938 passing yards, 21 touchdowns, 16 interceptions, had 0 fumbles, 76.9 was his QBR with a 94.5 passer rating, and rushing stats: 15 attempts, 29 yards, and 1 fumble. Did not lose it. But overall, this is Big Ben, man. He's huge. 13 years, still going strong. But we all know he's going to be slowing down, and he's slowing down a bit, But he's still a pocket passer. He's still gonna have 4,000 yards this year, no doubt about it. But just watch out, because we all know Andrew Luck is up and coming, and Cam and Russell and all them. So they'll be a lot higher on this list as Big Ben starts decreasing, and he will be a little down. But right now he is number 6. He's the closest to the top 5 just because of what he's been able to do in his career and what he's able to do now. It's incredible. Dangerous QB, hard to bring down, and just an overall great playmaker. So deserving of it.